Oh gosh, that didn't take very long. That is my largest Maryland buck to date, and I can't be more thankful. Oh my goodness. I mean, I really don't even know what to say. Close. Wow! Yes! Did you believe that? Did you believe that? Holy crap, buddy.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Midwest Whitetail East Show. First show of 2023 season. I'm putting the finishing touches on it right now. It's really special to me to get to produce this show. For those of you that don't know me, my name's Rye Ludwig. I started on the East Show back in 2020, and it kind of led me here to do the internship and then now have a career here working for Midwest Whitetail. As you guys just saw, the team had a stellar year in 2022. And we're looking to build off that in 2023, and the hit list shows that that is a real possibility. And the next two episodes, this one and the following one, are going to feature those deer. We're kind of breaking it up. We added some new members this year, and there's just a lot of content that's going to be coming your way this fall. Also, kind of important announcement, our Chasing November apparel on MidwestWhitetail.com is available for order. We just launched that along with the series for Chase November Season 8. Awesome series. Gavin did a great job on it. And after you guys watch this episode, go head over to the main channel, Chase November Season 8, 20 episodes, check it out. On this week's episode, we're going to start off in Wisconsin. Cullen and Jacob have been putting in a lot of work on their properties to better their habitat management and hopefully build a better age structure on their properties. And it's looking like it's going to pay off. They have a really good hit list to start the year, so I'm excited to see what that brings this year. Then we're going to head to my home state of Maryland. Kyle Lawrence and Joey Eyler, two really good friends of mine. Kyle normally has some bucks to start the year, but he's put in a ton of work to try and make it a better hunting farm. It's a large property and it's kind of hard to hunt. On the other hand, though, Joey Eyler probably has his best hit list in years, and that's pretty awesome. I'm excited to see it, and hopefully they can pull it off this fall. Then we're going to jump over to Tennessee. Jeremiah Robeson and Lee Bridges. They have a small property they've hunted for a long time, and they just added a ton of ground to that, and specifically a spot they can target some of these giants they have on camera early season. And then finally, also in Tennessee, Brock Taylor had probably one of the best off seasons of his life. You guys will see why at the end of the video. He's in the tree. Who knows what's going to happen? You guys will see it at the end of the show. Hopefully he has a big buck step out. So thank you guys for tuning in to Midwest Whitetail East Show. I hope you enjoy the show, and I hope you enjoy the storylines throughout the rest of the year.
Well, welcome back to Midwest Whitetail. It's Jake and I's second season on the show, and we're really looking forward to showing you guys some of the progress we've made in the off season, not only on some projects that we've been working on, but also some of the bucks that have shown up in the off season that we're really excited to get after this year.
The main farm that I'm going to be hunting is a 80-acre lease that borders a big marsh. The east side of the farm is what we put a lot of focus on this season. It's a big bedding area, but also pinches down into a woodlot. And last season we put a redneck blind in there and put in about 1/5 of an acre food plot. I had some early season success and shot a doe out of the redneck. But as last season, as we got into November, we had a really nice 8-pointer that showed up. We call him the Kicker 8. He was living on that east side, and the problem is the access was going right through his bedding area. And this season we pivoted, and there's a ditch that runs the east side of the property. We cleared out all the brush that was down in the bottom of the ditch, and we're gonna use that as access to jump into that redneck blind and hopefully meet up with him again. So there's a couple other bucks on the farm that we're looking forward to hunt. One is a non-typical deer. He's really mature. We're calling hornswoggle. And we also just had a picture of a pretty nice 10-pointer. So it's looking promising on that farm, and we're looking forward to hunt it.
Yeah, and then transitioning into that too, I've actually really excited about an opportunity I was given this off season with a couple of good buddies of mine. We jumped on a lease in southwestern Wisconsin, and if anybody knows, the Mississippi River can produce some pretty good deer. So a couple of projects on that farm in specific have been 3 different 2-acre brassica plots, and we're gonna try the monster buck seed this year. So looking forward to seeing what that can put out, but there's 2 bucks on that farm in particular that we're gonna chase. One I nicknamed Joe. He's got a goofy split brow tine as well as a little drop tine too. So looking forward to see what that deer turns into. It's been a while since we've got pictures of him, so we're just gonna cross our fingers and hope he blows up a little bit. And then the other buck would be a buck I nicknamed Big Kurt. Just kind of a goofy old buck that I would be extremely blessed to be able to harvest and especially be able to film too. So looking forward to that opportunity. And then, like I said, just spending quality time with some good buddies of mine and sitting with Jake in the tree out on that farm, I think is gonna be really special. So looking forward to that.
The other farm I'll be hunting is my grandpa and grandma's farm. It's about 260 acres, a lot of big ag, but there are some tree lines and small woodlots that we can hunt. We just put up some cutty-back cameras last week, and we already have a decent buck on camera.
And then finally, actually where we're standing right now was my first private farm I've ever been given access to. It was a property my parents purchased back in 2020, and it's essentially an overgrown Christmas tree farm with a lot of diversity. There's a river bottom to the north, and then on east and west, we've got actually standing grain that we're gonna leave for the majority of the season. But in particular, the north side of the farm and the river bottom, we actually went down and we put a lot of work into extending the food plot. My dad and I brought billy goat brush hogs down there and did as much work as we could to expand the area where we could plant brassicas. So in the past, there's been some really nice deer that have transitioned through the area. And just recently, we've actually got a buck down there that just showed up. We're gonna nickname him G.I. Joe. And he's just a tall, framey 9-pointer. And for this area, it's a great buck, and I think anybody would be happy to wrap their tag around him, including myself. So yeah, we really look forward to this season. We're on the East Show now, so it's gonna be exciting to work with Rye and his staff. But for an off season, we've been really busy, and we're really looking forward to getting in the tree together and start chasing some of these big bucks that we've been getting teased by all off season. So thanks again for tuning in to another episode of Midwest Whitetail, and we'll see you next week.
Hey everybody, we are back for another season of Midwest Whitetail, the East Show. Some of you may remember me, some of you may not. My name is Kyle Lawrence, and I'm super excited to be back for my 3rd season here with Midwest Whitetail. I'm sure many of you guys are. We're rolling right through summer here. We're already into mid-August, which is hard to believe. Here in about 3 weeks, we'll be starting here in Maryland. So I've been trying to knock out as many projects as possible this summer. I was able to pick up a new lease this year. I'm a little behind the ball this year as far as cameras go. I had my son here in July, so priorities changed a little bit, but I'm still just as excited. So just a little behind the ball on the camera. So we're gonna go ahead and start off with Starbucks. If you guys have followed along, that has been pretty much my #1 deer the entire time I have been a part of this show. He has not shown up yet this year, and I did have a few encounters and pictures of him late last season. The opportunity was there. I just could not make it happen, so I am super excited and hoping that he shows back up this year. 2 more deer on this property specifically I'm looking forward to is a deer I call big frame. I had an encounter with him last year, you guys may remember. Just not a deer at 3 years old I was looking to take, but super big frame, super tall brow, so I'm super excited to see what he has blown into. And then the last property I have that I'm gonna focus on this year is the new lease. I was able to run cameras on that farm last year, was not able to hunt it, but there was a few really nice deer. One that came through specifically right before gun season, real big 10-point, but there's a deer there I call Trace. He's got a triple main beam. There's another deer there that I call Wilson. He's this big 6-point. He definitely looked mature, and he's got this broken nose on him. So that was another cool deer. There's 5 or 6 different deer on that farm that have came through more than one time last year that I would shoot and consider a target. So that's just kind of a quick run through on some of my main farms there that I'll be hunting and focusing on this year with a few shooters. And like I said, I'm behind the ball on the cameras, so I'm actually going to get ready to show you guys one of the food plots I'm excited for this year. I have great success in this area year in, year out, and always have on this farm. So I'm going to go ahead and show that to you guys. So we have some trails cut coming out of this river bottom. I dug a pond there. I've always had a mock scrape, and it's one of my favorite rut spots, kind of tucked down into that corner. The trails come up and meet this cove where I have the clover section at, which runs all the way up in the cove, and then the very top portion in front of my redneck Ely blind I have there, I planted the brassicas before it works out into the cornfield. So a little bit of variety of everything that I'm kind of hoping these deer come and stage up in before they hit the cornfield, and then that'll be good even into the late season. Then when they cut the corn and everything, it's still tucked back in that cove where they feel safe and secure, and they'll have a variety of options kind of working their way out. So I'm super excited for that. I think that's going to be a good spot once some of these bigger deer start showing up. But yeah, thank you guys for checking in. I hope you love following along with us this year. I'm excited for you guys to see what we have going on, and we'll catch you on the next episode.
What's going on, guys? I'm Joey Eyler here in Maryland, and welcome back to another season of the Midwest Whitetail East Regional Show. I kind of want to just stop by and say what I've been doing this off season, mainly down in the meadow. If you followed along last year, it's all you really heard me talk about is hunting the meadow. Well, 2 years ago, I actually got that property back, and I ended up getting a real nice buck on camera that I chased from early season to rut to late season. Well, he ended up going across the road and getting killed by the neighbor. But anyways, I put a stand down in the meadow, which I hunted a lot last year, in more of an observation stand. And I kept it there because of all the stuff I can see. I can see the whole meadow, I can see the big bean field, and I can see across into the big woods when the leaves come off. Well, this year I ended up putting the food plot in front of it. And it's only like a 1/4 acre plot. I ended up putting a scrape post in the middle of it and minerals on the outside of it, just to have something there to lure them deer in while the food plot was growing and stuff. So I figured if I put path in there, the deer would start using it and get them coming over to where I can have a shot opportunity. So I have a cutty back on it. My #1 deer that I got on camera, I named him Blade. He's a real framey deer, and he's just got a one-bladed brow tine, and so I'm anxious to lay my eyes on him. The next deer I got is called Jeffy. I had him on camera last year, and he blew up, but he's still growing goofy. Real tall, framey deer, but his one brow tine is long, and it just shoots in the middle of his head. It's real goofy. Hopefully we get an opportunity at one of them at least. The next time you'll be seeing me is hopefully in a tree, and hopefully putting an arrow in a buck.
Well, that's going to be a wrap for work day. Kinda, it ain't really #1. First work day together this summer, July the 8th. So that's the kickoff of getting everything ready for the fall. Next, we'll put cages around all of our chestnut trees.
This is our main focus now. So we're gonna wrap it up for today, and until next time. Welcome back to the East Show. We're back at a farm today that y'all are all too familiar with, and you can expect to see us here quite a bit this season, but we're essentially here to set the stage for 2 deer that showed up on this farm. One is all too familiar with us, got several years of history. I'll let Jeremiah talk a little bit more about that, but today is the final stages. I mean, the things we do today is setting us up to kill potentially one of these deer in the next 2 weeks. So
Yeah, it's on. So, you know, we're preparing for the velvet hunt. We've got 3 days we can hunt. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think it's the 25th through the 27th of this month, and this is our final push to get ready. And as predicted, when we were here the first time, you know, we said this was the best spot on the farm. And of course, it's living up to that. Very first night that we had the camera out, we got pictures of a really nice 10-point, and he's been as regular as rain. There's only one day that we have not had pictures of him. The night before last, we got a different deer that we're very familiar with. It's the short brow buck. We talked about him a bunch, and he's probably, honestly, the top target on this farm, although he's probably not the best scoring. Huge frame. He's got the best rack he's ever had. He's got short brow tines, as always. It's how it's been so easy to recognize him, and he is just built like a tank. I mean, you can tell he's potentially a 7.5-year-old deer, even now. I mean, it's amazing how big he is now. Just imagine if he lives to October.
I know.
But, you know, if we have anything to do about that, he's not going to make it. We're going to mow this clover and alfalfa field now and do everything we can. This is our last attempt to get ready for him. After today, we're going to watch the cameras and hopefully make our move opening day.
Good afternoon, and welcome back to Midwest Whitetail, the East Show. It is Sunday, August 27th, and we are out here chasing velvet whitetails in Tennessee. The state of Tennessee gives us 1 weekend in August to be able to harvest a whitetail buck in velvet. So that's our plan for this weekend. And we have a northeast wind, which is really good for this spot. It's hitting me right in the face, going over my shoulders, back to this ravine, right back here behind me. We're sitting up over a downed fence where the deer leave the timber and go out into the field end. So hopefully they'll read the script today and come on through, hit this mineral before moving on to the big fields to feed, and we can get a velvet buck on the ground. But since I'm out here, I thought I'd take this time to catch you guys up on the off season and what we've been doing. We kicked things off this spring in Tennessee doing some turkey time here, and it entered the Apex Turkey Challenge and ended up winning the largest spurs in Tennessee. So I ended up putting some money in my pocket from Apex, and it was really cool and very thankful to harvest that turkey. And from there, I ended up getting engaged this summer to my beautiful girlfriend Olivia. And don't worry, the first thing I did was rule out a November wedding, and had to settle for an end of December wedding. We got about an hour 45 left, so I'm gonna get quiet and lean back in the saddle, and if we see anything today, we'll bring it to you.